Sven here for Get Out There Gear Reviews, and today I've got a brand new shoe that everybody's been dying to try. The first thing you'll notice when you look at this shoe is look at this shoe. The design is pretty far from anything else on the market, and I just had to try them out. I'll get into the details in another minute or so, but for now, let me just tell you about my experience. I really like these shoes. Like every shoe, it has a few quirks, but I really like these shoes. So much so that after just 2 weeks of wearing them, I decided to wear them for a marathon. You're gonna have to head to your local shoe store to try them on for yourself, because this is one shoe that you just have to get onto your feet to really understand the differences from other shoes in its class. It's like a sock that hugs your foot combined with a perfectly cushioned, grippy sole that feels amazing. They have great grip, and it's kind of cool that I can just pull them on like a pair of socks. After more than 130 kilometers in the shoe, here are my highs and lows. The Flyknit upper fits like a sock. It's not too loose, it's not too tight, there aren't any hot spots, and after being in them for a couple of minutes on the road, I hardly even remembered it was there. Many may be nervous about the high collar. Trust me, you don't need to be. It feels just like a quarter-length sock, and because it's Flyknit, it stretches around every bone in your ankle and doesn't interfere with your range of motion. The familiar fly wire is there to provide loops for your laces. These shoes are high-tech. Lasers are used to cut the midsole as well as the outsole. And this isn't just fancy tech to be fancy. The cushioning is largely in the middle due to the outer EVA casing. So these cuts in the midsole spread that cushioning out. If you pried one of these slits open, you can see the lunar lawn inside. The outsole uses concentric circles, making these pods that are slightly raised up. The cushioning and rebound makes them somewhat responsive, almost acting as pistons. You'll notice that there isn't any rubber layering. The lunar lawn foam is fused to the outer EVA casing using a dual injection process. You get two sets of insoles with these shoes, which is quite unusual. One is 4mm and the other is 6mm, and either way you're going to get a 10mm heel-toe drop offset that gives a great midfoot strike. You'll lose some ground feel and gain some cushion with the 6mm insole, but with less volume inside, the shoe's going to feel a bit tighter. If you're a fan of that extra cushioning, you should consider going up about a half size. Personally, I'm a big fan of the 4mm insole. With cushioning for the long haul, comfort and grip for regular use, and the lightness of a racer, this shoe allows you to perform whatever your workout. I do have 3 caveats. 2 that I personally experienced, 1 I've heard about from a few others. When they're wet, they're wet. During my marathon, they had fire hoses and sprinklers out because of the heat. My feet got wet, then hot, and then I got blisters. While not avoidable, it reminded me that these shoes are knit and don't dry quickly. Just as they fit like a sock, they stay wet like one too. Apparently, some people have issues with the seam. It goes all the way up the outside with this reflective patch on the back, which is neat, and wraps all the way around the collar to the inside, and some have had issues with how that feels. And while I did notice a bump when I first put on the shoe right back here in the heel, it faded away almost immediately for me and I didn't have any problems. The third is you're gonna get pebbles. Lots of pebbles. These laser cut grooves pick them up like crazy. While it never affected my run, it's not too much fun to have to go home and use a toothpick to get them all out after my run. Other features include a new fused logo, a thin laminate fused material to reinforce the heel, and a unique mix of elastic and non-stretch knit areas to give it that perfect fit. These are a fantastic new entry to the running shoe game with cool high-tech features that aren't gimmicky. The LunarEpics are a fun, fast, and light pair of shoes that make running more enjoyable. You're sure to love them on your long runs, on your speed workouts, and everything in between. I'm Sven for Get Out There Gear Reviews with the Nike LunarEpic Flyknit. Now get out there and go for a run. You'll be glad you did. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, share it to your social networks, and check out ours with the links in the description below.